Have you heard about Anchor? Well, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. And there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make your money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
This music, it became a part of me. Because of that, nobody go sing. Come on. Where do I start? Should I start from the beginning? Chasing all these pretty women. They used to call me a dog. They didn't care about a nigga feelings. When my car was a hoopty, when my car was my 2 feet, only paper on me was loose leaf. Where do I start?
Bonjour.
What's up, bro?
Chilling. You being a teacher, Mr. Kijani, well, how would you feel if students are talking reckless in the school right now, like in this climate? When I say talking reckless, I mean like, oh man, this area would be awesome in the game. These guys would be shooting this way, shooting that way. Clearly, it's not the proper conversation for a school environment. You get what I'm saying? How do you handle that situation?
Well, as a teacher, the first thing they tell you in school is you have to report that. Because you like as like lawyers, you like swear and say that you're there to protect the kids and everybody in the classroom.
Yeah.
So you have to report it to your principal, and then the principal will take some decisions from there, depending on the situation of the individual. Then you know where it might go, and it depends on what was said. But as a teacher, they can not only take it to the principal, they can also report it to authorities, if they feel like it's that's serious, and they can do so anonymously. So teachers they're supposed to do that. Now, do they do that every time? Probably not. Right? It depends on the setting. Sometimes it's different, right? Now, me as a teacher, when I was teaching where it's rough, you hear those things pretty often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I was to call the cops every single time, you might hear that. You wouldn't even be able to teach sometimes.
Jeez.
Right? So
that's rough.
It depends on the level of severity and the judgment of the teacher.
Yeah.
But more time than not, the teacher's gonna report it.
But question on that: Would you take the character of the child and circumstances and things like that into consideration, like taking actions thereafter? Because of course,
yeah, but you can be wrong. You can be very wrong.
Exactly.
A person can be very wrong by going that route.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, a human being would say, yeah, of course, I will try to take the character, and you have to do that, but you have to understand that could also be a very risk, and the risk is life or death. So it's a risk that the teachers take every day, and teachers live it every day. Like, people probably don't see like it's serious, but yeah, teachers go through those things every day.
Yeah, I don't know. Being a teacher, I think it's tough, man. It's not an easy job. You do a lot of schooling and work to go and deal with kids who clearly can be tough and challenging at times, and it's strictly like a heavy patience thing. And I think it's a tough job being a teacher. That's why I can't go that route.
Yo, I praise my kids' teachers all the time, bro. Like,
it's not easy, bro.
I know it's not easy doing this distance learning with mines. I be asking the teacher what they do to keep themselves calm all day.
Imagine what growing up in a Haitian household, seeing the frustration some of the parents have as parents, and then you mirror that with what teachers got to go through, bro. It's not the easiest.
I agree.
That's how I see
Right.
it. So
But
shout
so
out to the teachers, man.
yeah, I was just listening to Kwame Brown the other day. He was like, teachers should get paid like athletes.
I agree. No,
I
no
think
bullshit.
on a certain level, yeah, because no joke,
Like
it's tough. On a
coach
certain
pay at
level,
least. Like,
you know,
so come on. You
He
guys,
said
you
if
guys will
teachers,
literally have our kids in your hands.
where he said if teachers got paid like athletes did, then the kids will respect the teachers more, and the kids will respect authority more. So the reason why, and they would also have more respect for education. But now a lot of kids are not respecting, but not just school education, you know what I mean? But like just the thought of learning, the thought of doing something hard and getting knowledge out of it. A lot of kids don't want to go through that hardship anymore. They just
yeah,
want to they think that they can just go and Google it. And then when I be like, all right, so go ahead, go Google it. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'm giving you permission. Go Google it. They can't even Google it, right? They're
exactly.
like, I Googled it. I can't find the answer. I'm like,
You know,
what you mean? What did you type? Did you look at the article? Did you look at to see if it was credible? Did you read the article that you looked up?
yeah,
Did
like
you look into it? Did you look into it more? Did you look on the second page?
did you scroll at least?
Did you scroll? Like, all those things. You really have to teach them how to Google too, and how to ask the question that you want to
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
You know what I think it was is that we have done so well, and shout out to parents and generations in the past. We've been streamlining to make everything so easy for our kids that it's so easy that it's too easy for them. Like I was watching this show, Duncanville, like on Hulu, and the whole premise was that these kids are like 10 and 15 years old and don't know how to socialize.
yeah.
Like that's serious business right now. Like
Yeah,
that's a real serious thing.
That's tough. And I think it's true too. A lot of kids do have that like real issue when coming out in public, networking, talking to other kids, and talking to some of them have issues talking to adults in certain circumstances, and it's a problem that I think you should work on and fix.
So like
yeah.
Because
to
Oh,
bring
by
it
the way,
all back, yeah, go
Mimi,
ahead.
that photo you sent me, yeah, that's a no go, bro.
I know
That's
I'm
a
messing
no.
with you.
That's a no,
I'm messing
that's
with you.
another no go.
I told you I got some for days. That's why I don't take pictures of myself.
All right,
But to
all
bring
right.
it to bring it all the way back is the reason why I'm pointing out all these little details is that, like, again, taking conversation out of context, you know, worrying about how the person's saying something and why and where. These kids are not teaching, they're not learning how to talk properly around each other, where they're separating themselves from talking like I'm just playing a game, or I'm sitting in a lunchroom and I'm describing, my 20 kill spree that I just did. No, that's not the conversation for lunchtime. You get what I'm saying? And that's
Word.
that's that's the trouble that we're getting into sometimes. In the schools out here, is these kids feel comfortable talking about how nasty and gruesome they did in a game with such detail that they forget to say that it was a game that they're talking about. And lo and behold, 2 hours later, cops is knocking on your door saying, "Hey, do you have weapons in the house?" Your kids talk mad crazy in
yeah,
school.
that's just this generation. That's this generation nowadays. Because that's how they just view everything. You know what I mean? It's like it's tough.
Like nobody's careful in the way they talk, but at the same time, everybody has to be super careful in the way you talk.
Yeah, it's just rugged right now. And I think the big focus on parents is just focusing on what growing up, and then just trying to correlate certain things with your kids so that they're not confused. I think a lot of kids are just so confused because they go to school, they learn one thing, then they go home, and then their parents teach them another thing. It's like,
Yeah, so that kind of brings me right into what I was basically like pondering all week. I know I'm not. I was definitely one of the talk to Steve about this. Like I already mentioned it with the whole Kwame Brown situation
yeah,
and the whole media, and then Russell Westbrook get popcorn thrown on him, and
yeah,
then Trey Young gets spat on, and like it just kind of just brings me to that idea about how people could just feel like they could just be disrespectful, and it also stems from the kids that I'm noticing. I see like it's the same type of no respect for authority attitude.
Yeah, I think.
Have you seen these things, them videos?
Yeah, I think for me personally, from what I witnessed, I think is very much generational. A lot of the kids in this generation have no respect for like the elders. That's where, and I think that's where it really starts off from. You know what I mean? Like I see that so much in this generation. Like kids are just really rude and have no respect. They're not nice kids. Like kids are growing up in a sense as jerks more in this day and age. 90s kids, I feel like 90s kids and like kids in our age group have more respect in a sense because we grew up with hard discipline. I think nowadays, since the rules are so strict towards parents and disciplining kids don't get disciplined the right way. That way, kids grow up and do whatever they want because if parents can't really do that much. And that's how I really see it. You know what I mean?
You got kids that could send their parents to jail right now. Like, oh my God, my he hit me and he did this and he did that. And no one knows the wiser until you got 80 people all up in your house being mad nosy and find out nothing happened.
Exactly. Then your kids grow up to do stupid things like throw popcorn on people in a game and think it's all right because they can get away with it.
Yeah.
And all these things in the NFL, the NBA, excuse me. And it's just crazy to me, man. It's seriously just crazy. That's how I kind of see it.
So the last time we had a conversation about having the talk, right? So we have sons, but you have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Talk gonna be different compared to like the talk that your dad had with you. Did your dad have the talk with you?
Which talk, like the respectful talk, like respecting your elders talk?
Okay, so when I mean by the talk, I guess that's a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's funny how whenever we say the talk, whenever somebody say the talk, it's like
birds and the bees.
One? Yeah, so the birds and the bees, the racism talk, the driving while black talk, mental health talk.
That talk I definitely want to approach at some point in time.
I think I want to approach those based off circumstantial stuff. Like, what's going on? Like, all right, if life is taking you here, let's have a talk. Let's go this route. If life is taking you there, all right, let's have a talk and let's go that route. You know what I mean? Certain times you can't talk about things because they're not experiencing it. So it's like if they're not experiencing it, all right, I know what this is, but I haven't experienced it, so I can't put the pieces together that well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to bring it to their attention if they don't need to. But if they already
experience it, but if you don't talk to them and then they experience it, how could they be prepared for that experience?
I think it goes like this. All right, sometimes in life you got to see certain things, and I think it's best that communication is key, and that your kids communicate with you properly. And when they do that, it's like, all right, Dad, this is what's been going on, and this is what I've been going through. Is there any suggestions? What do you think about XYZ? Then all right. Then you can have certain talks according to what's going on in their life, based in the timeline of what they're going through. I think that's how it kind of went in my household. So we didn't really have too much crazy talks. It was basically like, all right, everything was like a step up ladder. All right, we're going through this phase in life. I'm in high school. This is kind of what you're gonna expect in high school. Watch out for friends that aren't loyal to you. You kind of want loyalty in your life. All right, now you're going to college.
Okay. Oh, the friends. Haitians.
You know what I mean? You got to start off small. Well, my dad, he always started off like this. You start off with the people that's close to you, trustworthiness, loyalty, things as such. Because those are the most important things. When you have friends that you don't trust, that's where it starts off. And especially when school, have friends.
That's a proper base for mental health. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Exactly. You got to know who to trust. If you can trust people, you feel comfortable mentally because you got a good camp, you got a good group of friends, and you can trust these guys. But it's when you learn not to trust them because then you don't know how people's gonna act the next time you befriend them, and then that becomes the issue. That's when you got to learn. That's when the learning curve comes in. You know what I mean?
So, have you ever had any negative encounters with the police?
Me personally, no. I lived in Massachusetts. I'm 30 years old. Lived in Massachusetts all my life. No negative encounters with police.
We got to give a clap for that.
I think
Okay,
the
so we
only
gotta
time,
wait.
you know what I mean?
For
So,
We gotta
real,
give
like
some
growing
time
up
for
in
that.
Massachusetts, that's good.
Legit.
I think the only time I've ever had maybe an issue, me and my boy Mel, you know, we're coming from a party. We're not drunk. We wasn't drinking. It was just late at night. We go to Wendy's. I'm the one driving. We're driving down the main road. We're in his Cadillac. He had a nice little car. I forgot to turn on the headlights. And luckily for me, you know, the officer pulls us over. It's a Hispanic officer, and he had a white male partner at the time. Late at night, we're not in probably the best neighborhood, a tough neighborhood. And, you know, he's talking to me and asking me license registration, XYZ. And I was like, why'd you pull us over? I was like, we're just out getting some food. Nothing's going on. He's like, oh, it's nothing. We're just pulling you over because you had your headlights on. And I was like, all right. And then, you know, one guy's clutching his holster in the back window to the right hand side of the vehicle, and then he's talking. And I'm just calm, you know. I've been in a situation. I've been pulled over. I'm just calm. I'm situated. I have no fear. I've done nothing wrong, and I think typically me being calm and knowing police officers, that's what helped the situation. But it's just one of those things where it's just like nothing escalated. It could have escalated if I was hot, if I had felt some type of way because they pulled me over late at night because I was eating food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you say, okay, I'm not going to be like, yo, why'd you pull me over? I didn't even do anything. Did you
First of
say
all,
anything like that?
First of all, it's late at night. I'm enjoying my Wendy's. I don't care what the officer thinks. I was thoroughly enjoying my double cheeseburger. So,
Because I'm already in a good mood.
So you didn't
goddammit.
say anything like that. You did not say anything like that.
no, I'm eating my food while he's
Were
checking
you
my license
driving?
registration. I was driving. Yeah. So, you know, to me, it's like, I don't care what he thinks. I'm just doing my
And
thing.
you had the license, and you had your own registration.
I'm driving clean. I know I'm not driving dirty, so I
Right.
got nothing to worry about. So
Right.
he could do whatever he
clear
wants.
conscience.
So what happened? He said, all right, you got to.
So basically what happened was what made the situation go by faster. I played basketball with one of the sergeants that's basically his boss. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a conversation with your boss. He's like, oh, who's my boss? I was like, XYZ's name. He's like, oh, okay. I apologize. You have a good night. Basically, I was done from there. When sometimes it's who you know, sometimes in certain circumstances. Because I knew a certain person, he was like, oh, that's my boss. I don't feel like dealing with my boss. Let me just let this kid go because he's probably going to have a conversation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I work with these guys, so I know how these things work. So it's like one of those situations where I was just like, you know what? I know these guys personally. I know what they go through on a daily basis. I'm not going to give him a hard time. But if he's going to give me a hard time, let him give me my ticket. I'll have a conversation with somebody else Monday morning.
So you see, it's like those. It's some of the same conversations that I was having in the schools, where even like I heard Kareem Abdul-Jabbar repeat it too. Like if racism would be less if people of different cultures got together more.
Exactly.
Like
I think that's what
I agree.
it is.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Racism continues to burn because people are separated in not understanding of other people's cultures.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly.
Now I still feel like there will be. I'm sorry, but I still feel like there will be. There's always going to be a percentage of people who, no matter what, they're going to be who they are. They're going to be racist, and no matter what, there's always going to be that percentage. But what I'm talking about is like some of the people who can go on either way. You know what I mean? Like there's always a percentage of people who are going to be on that left side. There's always a percentage of people who are going to be on the right side. But what makes things of a difference is the people who are in the middle. The people who may go left and they may go right. Yeah. Now, when you continue to like, if you can get those people and learn them and be with those culture and they get to learn your culture, then you can get more of them to be on the right side. And that's what I think really we're missing right now.
So I got a question for y'all then, if that's the case. You sitting on this situation, friends that you know very well here and there, and obviously racist shit comes up here and there. So a conversation comes up and says, not to sound messed up, but would this be racist? Would you credit that friend as someone that's trying to learn and like grow from a situation, or someone that's just trying to just find their understanding and keep it moving? Because for me, I always try and credit that person for trying to find some type of understanding.
Yeah, I didn't really hear what the question was.
He said, would you credit somebody or give somebody the the benefit of the doubt for at least trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Trying
for
to
at
do
least
what?
trying to ask, like if they were to ask a question that they felt was racist, like, hey, do you tan, Vlad? When you take your ring off, it looks like you got tan lines, and
Well, it
I'll tell them
depends
like,
on the
yeah,
situation. It depends on the situation. It depends on the person. It depends on the context. It
okay,
depends on
okay,
their tone of.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
It
It,
But
depends on a
that's what I
lot
mean.
of
It's
variables.
but even the fact that you're saying that it depends, it just for me it shows that you're willing to give that chance. Some people aren't even willing to give that chance and be like, oh, that sounds racist. I don't fuck with you. You're cut. And you're like, I can't even fuck with people like that because, like, damn, yo, like, how you gonna learn how to fuck with them then? Like, you never gonna learn how to
Right.
fuck with people?
Right.
it's
Like
very
Malcolm X
situational.
show you. Malcolm X, was one that really helped me open my eyes. Because he was the type of person who, in the beginning, he thought that all white people was evil. But then he,
But you got to ask yourself the question: why did he think
uh,
people was evil in a sense?
because of his
Because of his
experiences.
teachings.
Because
Because
of his,
what did he learn?
no, it wasn't only his teachings. Because of his experiences.
Yeah.
Like his father was murdered by the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
So then he watched his mother get taken away into a mental home. So yeah, it's he's definitely those are experiences. But then even a person like that can still grow and learn that we still can learn from everyone, right? He still can understand that,
Yeah.
if I shun every single person, I may be missing out on some opportunity that could
Yep.
change some things.
Yeah. Change
So
my
like
perception.
even like Haiti now, like last time we were talking about how when Haiti refused the AstraZeneca vaccines, but now, like just in a week ago, we were talking and the COVID number spiking in Haiti. So now the president has accepted the offer of over 130,000 doses, but now they have to wait to see if they're really going to get the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Yeah, that's tough. I think with Haitians, I don't know. It's tough to say that. Okay, the numbers are spiked because their numbers has never been as crazy as it is in the U.S. So we got to think about numbers spiking. All right, how bad is numbers spiking? I think that's the first question we ask ourselves. You know what I mean?
Like
Before
a
we
few
get
hundred people died.
Yo, so that's the other thing.
compared compared to the thousands. You know what I mean?
The other question
Hey,
you also got to
I mean,
point out and
those
ask too,
100
though.
people's families
Yeah.
are living in shambles. Like, can you imagine Haiti in
Yeah.
this the state that it's already in?
You have everyone that has the potential of getting sick right away and not saying anything, or you have the other side where how many Haitians is gonna say, yeah, I got sick, I don't feel good, I'm not going to work today. You get what I'm saying? Like they not they're gonna be like, yeah, I got COVID. I'm gonna stay home for 2 weeks. That's not that sucks to say, but they're not about that. You know what I mean? They just rather push through and hope they push past the problem. And I think that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. There's the other side where it's like, well, leave me alone. I don't want no shots. Just leave me with my skid seed. Leave me with my Tiasso C, and I'm gonna sit at home and
Yeah.
take care of myself.
A lot of guys have
Yeah,
that faith healing kind of remedy kind of lifestyle. So it's
Yeah. So
but then
you
when they
you gotta
start to see
respect that.
people dying,
yeah,
some people change their mind.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's where who's bandwagon, who knows it, who's doing it for real. You know what I
So
mean? It's
as
the same for the
president, what you're
states.
supposed to do? Are you supposed to take care of those few, or are you just gonna say forget about those few if the majority of people don't want it?
Yeah,
Nah,
you
you
better
take care. You take care
take
of
care
those
of your
few,
own,
yo.
man.
You make it available. You know what I mean? You just put
Take
it in the store. They don't
exactly,
got to go buy
exactly.
it.
You
Shoot,
take
just like
it,
us out here.
make it available to the people who feel like they want to get their life right, and you got to go from there. Don't
Yep.
force hands. When you start forcing hands, that's when you get chaos.
Yo, trust, because I mean, remember they just did away with medical exemption out here in CT. So like, if they really want to, at some point in time, they could be like, all right, cool. Every kid that goes to public school has to get shots. I don't care what you think or feel about it, and I don't care whether it's just one at a time. No, they've been missing 13. They're gonna get 13 this week. Have a nice weekend. Go. Technically, they can take that route later
But
on.
my question, let me ask you guys a question. How do you guys feel about this? Growing up in America, and this is pertaining to the COVID shot situation. Growing up in America, always in our lives we had parents, and in most circumstances, can we agree that we've had health insurance?
Yeah.
On and off. I think,
on and off health insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically with the
for
overall
the most part, yeah. I think my mom was holding it down for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole time.
When you have health insurance growing up, you understand one thing: nothing comes free. Correct?
All day.
Now you have a worldwide pandemic, correct? And they're giving everybody free vaccinations. Now, when they had H1N1 flu virus that was tearing up apart America, when they had SARS and all these other things, they had no free vaccines. Why is it now they want free vaccines?
When they had AIDS, when they had cancer, when they have all of those things.
How do they cure this thing faster than they cure all other things?
Because
just asking.
Numbers of death is unprecedented. Because right now, people are dying more rapidly from COVID-19 than anything else. So that's why they're giving it out for free.
So you say more people die from COVID than they die from AIDS and cancer?
Rapidly, yeah, in a more rapid pace, not in a long stretch, but because COVID just is rapid now. But this is happening more rapidly because the virus is spreading a lot faster than heart disease or something like that, right? Heart disease is going to take you 40 years to get. COVID-19, that joint take you in 2 weeks.
I know, but
in my personal opinion, in going to school and learning about diseases and sicknesses, AIDS is one thing that I feel like we could have cured a little bit faster than COVID, especially because it's a blood-ridden disease. All you gotta do is filter out the blood with better blood, and then that could possibly cure people faster.
I mean, peep out the supply and demand type of feeling of this whole thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, y'all really need shots right now? We got 3 shots. This shot don't work. Take this other shot. Nobody's complaining on where and how they got to take their shots. People are lining up with their sleeves up and not even asking questions.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So when they got the supply and demand literally in their hands and control, imagine what else they can do with that type of power somewhere else or on something else. Because as crazy as they're getting lax, go ahead. As crazy as they're getting lax with all these weed laws, all the marijuana laws and things of that nature, I honestly feel like there's like a slight underhand feeling where, quote unquote, these guys are going to be so enjoying their legalization laws, they won't notice everything they're going to be losing in the aftermath. So it's like, yeah, it's great that they're going to give us an opportunity for all these things. It sounds like a great like handout, but they could have been doing this type of handout for like we've all said, crazy, like worse things. AIDS, the actual flu that's been terrorizing forever and ever and ever. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. For me, this feels like there's so much. I feel like with this whole COVID thing, yeah, it's killing people rapidly, but in that rapid fire pace, there's been other diseases that's been around for so long that we still haven't even got our fingers on to cure that. What are we waiting for? If we could figure this out in a few weeks, why can't we figure this out now? What's going on? Like, you know what I mean? We need answers too for all the other things that we can't figure out. Scientists are smart enough to know about these things. What about everything else? That's why I feel like it just comes down to money and politics with these things at times.
That's definitely the reason why I brought up the legalization laws.
But I don't want to just diminish the work of scientists either. I get what you're saying, but we can't just like bypass it and just be like, also, all it takes is just this and just that. Like blood is like, are you kidding me? If blood was so easy, like God created blood. Like the blood is what gives you life. So I mean, it's not just easy to just get blood. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about like,
Yeah, I know what
blood.
you mean. I know for sure. For sure, but I'm just saying in the sense that like
somebody's body.
I mean, when you look at a perfect example
it's hard.
Of when people die of certain diseases, then you got a guy like Magic Johnson walking around like, man, making more money and living life better than anything else. And People was like, damn, he's
Did-
chilling.
You don't even ask. You don't even ask him how he did it.
And I'm over here sick as
but
hell.
nah, son. Nah, man. I mean, you know what? I'm learning though, bro. I'm learning, bro. Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Never.
That's
I
how
do know.
that's how I look at it.
Son, I felt the same way, but like I'm learning that, son, you can never look at somebody else's life and think you know what's going on, son. Because you don't never another person's life, bro. Magic Johnson could look like the happiest mother sucker in the world, but
and be suffering.
He probably taking like 100 pills a day. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what type of procedures he got to go through to live.
That could be true, but the other thing
you don't know what type of
I'm concerned about
he
though.
has to go through. Like everything.
Go ahead.
Everything in life is not everything that's in life that you get that's good. It takes a lot of pain and suffering to get. So if you see somebody that's happy, son, they had to work for that shit, and it's working hard.
No, I definitely agree,
Johnson, and it's suffering. You don't get nothing without suffering. Sorry, bro. Go ahead.
So, what I'm trying to round about is that it's just hard to trust that they're just handing it out. Like that's what I'm just weary that they're handing it out. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes me uncomfortable.
Nothing comes.
They're supposed to. No, if they're a nation, if they're really okay, let's just say ideally, they're supposed to be handing it out. If it's supposed to be good, if they say what it is, they're supposed to be handing that joint out. It's just because we don't believe them. We don't believe them in what their word. That's why. But if
this is what they've taught us.
It is, yeah, you're supposed to be handing that joint out. Because why we gotta pay for that?
They've taught us.
So what they're gonna do
is hand out for free is it comes with serious stipulations. Yeah,
no doubt. But what they're gonna do is after people have been better from it, then they're gonna start to charge you for it after. When it's not like a pandemic anymore, but it's still literally a global pandemic. So they legally cannot make money off of people dying. So they have to find ways to give it away, but still kind of make money because they're legally binded. Like
it's also hard to sue
don't
them.
Allow you to do that. Yeah, there's government laws that don't allow you to make money off of death.
You can't sue when you volunteer to be a test dummy.
Exactly.
Like I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Like that's the other part of it too, because
that's
like
thing,
everybody's being a test dummy in that aspect for me. Because hey, let's just try this out. Is it gonna be okay? You tell me how you feel in 3 days. If it don't work, come get another one. If it do work, you're good.
So why do you think Haiti? Why do you think Haiti tried to said no, they didn't want it before?
Because it's the same.
They're just trying to get on the
steps to okie doke. You know what I mean? It's the same steps. Just in case they do get sick, they want to have something that may or may not save them. Wouldn't you want to have a maybe plan just in case? Nobody has a backup plan.
I just think they're jumping on the bandwagon.
Right. Shit. But I'm just saying, like, as a president, as a leader, you have a lot of hard decisions to make.
Yeah.
You have hard decisions to make. Even sometimes you make decisions for people that you wouldn't even make for yourself.
You're saying
that's why you don't keep in that chair.
You don't keep.
Hey.
That's why you sit in that chair, bro.
You don't keep Band-Aids in your closet. You don't keep stuff in your you don't keep extra supplies to make sure if you run out, you make sure you have it just in case. You got to be prepared. And if you're the president, you got to be super prepared, right?
Right. Like J. Cole said in his rap. So he said, if you clowning a millionaire, the joke is on you.
Exactly. Because you're clowning somebody that has more worth than you, that's built up and worked harder than you. Like people love diminishing hard work nowadays because they don't want to put in the work to be great.
Yeah. Right. Let me be great.
So did y'all see that that meme with that Mount Rushmore? It had Drake, it had Kendrick, it had J. Cole, and then it had one that was like missing.
Ooh. I think personally Drake is up there because he's just coming out with so much consistent hits. Like everything he comes out with, you can't deny the hits. This guy has hits. But to say he's on the Mount Rushmore, I think there's other guys that are a little bit beyond Drake's, level, like rap wise,
So in my opinion,
wait, time out. But you didn't answer the question though, because you didn't say if you're gonna take Drake off, you have to say who you gonna replace Drake with,
I'm
and
just
you didn't
saying
say who's gonna be in that missing slot because there's 4.
I say Drake is like not my top contender only because the ghostwriting.
So who's gonna
He
replace him?
so if I would have like a 2021 Mount Rushmore in a sense.
Yeah, not like of all
2021.
time. It's not like of all time. It looked like just like the new age.
Of the
Nah,
new age.
I'm going for the last 2 years of all the cats that put out albums. Because if
No, it gotta
I
be like
still
last 10
bump
years.
you,
Last 10 years.
see, good, I got you.
Last 10 or 15 years.
You just opened up my freaking argument.
Number
Hold
one,
on.
yeah, number one for me got to be J. Cole, consistency and all other things. Number
Ooh.
two for me, Kendrick Lamar. That boy got bars for days. He has excellent music. You can't deny Kendrick Lamar too. If we're gonna talk about my third guy, other than Drake, who can I really throw in there? I mean, Jay-Z for me is still relevant. He's still hanging with the young boys. And
Is he selling records like the young boys?
You can't say he's not. He's still relevant though. He's still on people's songs featuring. But I don't know if you could throw Jay-Z on there because of that. You know what I mean?
I think having Jay-Z is like a cheat code, son. It's like a cheat code.
He's like a cheat code, but you can't deny consistency.
No.
You can never deny something that's consistent. Oh, that was the craziest line in that DJ Khaled album.
Yeah.
You can't deny like
I think Mrs. Devil is silent.
He talked about would he say that B? He's talking about the
break it down for people who didn't get it.
When I say for me, what I got from it, he talked about Beyonce. When he talked about the B, he talking about the bitch that they were relating Beyonce to, that they supposedly he had cheated with. That's another B. And then he talked about the triple B. I didn't get that part, but I know he referred to the B that people say he was cheating on Beyonce with, and then he referred to Beyonce. Like, he made a few references in there, but you just got to keep up with him. That's why I say he's just so relevant. You can't stop this guy.
So he make you think it with just like one damn line.
Exactly.
You're like, what the hell did he just say?
Exactly.
Did you get it, Mimi? Because it took me a while to break this shit down. Like, I'm about to break it down.
Honestly, I didn't just because I don't follow fucking popular culture like that. Like, I just listen to tracks. I listen to the lines, the beats. Like, I'm old school like that. I don't follow fucking pop news. So I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Tell me what your thoughts are on it.
All right. So it took me a while. So, like, I had to do my homework for this shit.
See what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that shit.
All right. So he said,
why?
He said, sorry, that's another B. That means he's saying that's another billion. So he's talking about $1 billion that he made. Because you remember there was in the news that he made $1 billion.
Yeah, because he sold his company.
Yeah. So he says, sorry, that's another B. And he says, but they still didn't recover from that other B. That's the other billion that he made. So now he's saying he got $2 billion now. Because he just said, so he basically said, sorry, that's another B. So now, and he said, but they still didn't recover from that other B. And he go, that's a double B. He said, nah, that's a triple B. Because I can't forget about that other B. And now he's talking about Beyonce. And then Beyonce goes, hey.
Yo, that's what people don't understand. Like, when he says that, like, come on.
So that's 1 billion, 2 billion, and then 3 make the third B, which is Beyonce. So that's the triple B.
My favorite line was, everybody's getting bands. We just dance to different drums. Like, what? Oh, like, when you say everybody, oh my gosh, everybody's getting bands. We just dance to different drums. A lot of people didn't even grab that concept of like
so what did that mean to you?
Because to me, when you say the B thing with the billions, then when he's talking about bands with different drums, it's all about he's talking money, but he's not. Yeah. But he's being humble about talking money. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, he just throws that in there at this. That's why to me, Jay-Z, you cannot never talk about him in a conversation.
So he's like, you're rich, right? But there's a different level to this rich.
Exactly.
So like you think you're rich, but I'm rich.
Exactly. Bro, it's like,
you know what it is? He definitely humbled and loved himself and has no problem saying how much he has respect for his craft and his work. because he put in
Son,
the
how
work.
about
That's
son,
mad
my guy
respect on
got
that.
dreads though, son. Like, how about that? Like, who would have thought Jay-Z would have had dreads in 2021?
You know,
He's teaching you how to be yourself and how to respect your religion and
not
not
be
listen to other
ashamed.
people. Exactly. Like a
Don't be
lot of
ashamed to
people,
Yeah.
be yourself.
a lot
Yeah,
of
I
people
gotta say, yo, son, he gotta give it up to Rastafari because Rastafari been blessing the culture for a minute, and now
but nobody's been
everybody's
paying
starting to get it.
attention. Nobody's
Nobody
been paying
wanted to give
attention.
Rasta love, but everybody is starting to feel what Rasta was talking about for 50, 60, 70 years.
Yo,
Now
And the
people
thing
starting to
about
get
it,
it.
and when you think about it like this too, Adley, think about it like Bob Marley was trying to put you guys on game for so long.
yo,
For so long.
it's just like what Major
Guiding.
Payne said, right? Major Payne just said he was like, "Oh, they ain't gonna love me, but they gonna fucking respect me.
Yeah, right.
So they ain't gonna call me out. They gonna say my name, but they gonna copy the shit out of me. They gonna do everything that I fucking do. So
And
let
then
it
Mr.
happen, bro.
Deville, what's your
Yo,
rap Mount Rushmore?
yo, I don't think y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want, but Busta, Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem, just sitting all on the top of there, fucking all day
Oh
long.
yeah, they got Eminem as top
But they
20 rappers.
old, bro, son.
They all came out with albums
Oh,
that was
Eminem, they
fucking
did. You
bump
right.
right
You
now.
right though. You
Like
said
they came out with
you right
albums
though.
that bumps
So
right
say that
now.
again.
Like
You said Buster.
Busta, Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem. And honestly, I'm not gonna put them in a specific order just because I literally shuffle the 4 day fucking albums when I ride, bro. Like that's my
But Buster
shit.
ain't put out an album in like years before that one though.
True, but he didn't need to.
Okay,
My thing,
Eminem though, son, I'll give you Eminem because Eminem is one of the sickest rappers, white, black, Spanish, whatever.
Yo,
I
I
just
put
gotta give it
Eminem
up
on
to that
there
dude.
just
But
because he came out
you
just
know,
to say, fuck y'all, I'm coming out.
he did.
Jay-Z, I put Jay-Z up there just because he just come out whenever the fuck he feel like it.
I think with me personally, with these young guys rapping nowadays, it's like these guys don't even come out with like any heat. They just mainstream rappers making money.
They
Like
just making beats.
nobody's rapping off like really good content and like really good like lyrics and flow. Like I say a guy who has like good lyric and flow, Lil Baby has good lyric and flow, but when you talk about like rap and consistently talk about different things and having substance, it's like these guys don't got it nowadays.
I need substance.
Exactly. That's
You know
why
what I mean?
people still mention the older rappers because these guys don't have that zest.
Where's the reincarnation of Talib Kweli? Where's Most Def reincarnation? You know what I
J.
mean? Like
Cole.
you know what I mean? Like where these, I know
J.
I
Cole.
feel
That's
like
why
J.
to
Cole
me
is
J.
hunting these
Cole's
guys
number
down.
one.
J. Cole, I feel like he's hunting the reincarnations down just to make sure we keep music popping, bro. Like
So
I'm
J. Cole
thankful.
come like Highlander right
You know what
now.
I mean?
Son. Like he
Yo,
taking everybody's
yes.
soul right now. Okay?
Straight up.
Exactly.
That's
he
respect
going
on that all day.
and like he taking everybody's powers.
He's
He
showing
put
you
them all in one.
He's showing you what real rap is: bars, lyrics, putting the whole album together. Like Kendrick Lamar did the same thing. That's why Kendrick Lamar could sit and nobody can ever say or come out of his name because he brought something to the rap game. He brought rap back, basically, like in a sense.
So here goes mine. So I'm gonna try to respect the rules and try to get it with the new rap game because I'm not gonna really go back to the old people because that's just too easy sometimes.
You said
Exactly.
they gotta put albums. They gotta put albums out in the past.
I'm talking about the last 10, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Last 10, 15 years, I gotta say Drake. Because Drake is
I put Drake
hit
on
after hit after hit.
Yeah, I give you that all
that.
day. I give it to you.
Drake, I don't care. He got everybody moving. He got everybody dancing. He got Spanish people dancing. He got many different languages. He got the Jamaicans. Drake is just making beautiful music.
I still bump Fireworks.
But lyrically, though, K. Dot is burning Drake up lyrically. You know what I mean? Because Kendrick Lamar can do everything Drake does and then still have that lyrical mastery. And he just mastered that. I said Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole like Kevin Durant and LeBron James right now. Like they both good. Like you pick it, whatever rapper you getting something good. Like I don't even care. You can't say they both. It's like 1 and 1A. So I'm putting them there.
They put an album out. I'm buying it.
I really could. For the fourth one, I really struggled with the fourth one. I wanted to think like Little Baby. I wanted to think The Baby.
Me too.
Wanted to think maybe Migos. I wanted to think maybe Future. But then, my wife had to check me. Even when I showed it to her. I showed it to her, right? I was like, yo, what you think? She had to check me. She was like, what about Nicki Minaj? I was like, oh,
no.
Shoot. Son, Nicki Minaj, son. Yo, what you mean? So, first of all, the women just don't get no respect at all. Like
it's not a respect thing.
It is a respect thing. Because every time we think about anything great or Mount Rushmore, put a woman up there. Now,
what are you talking about? I would have loved to put Lil Kim up there, but I just can't right now.
Nicki Minaj sells more records than all of these rappers y'all be talking about.
Yeah, but she writes as much records as 0 songs.
No, that's not true. She writes her own rap. No,
she don't.
No.
No, she
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
What?
Nicki Minaj writes. First of all, she's from New York. So if you are rapping,
that has nothing to do with it.
That's everything.
all right. I'm gonna get you right here. She's from New York. What about Cardi B? Cardi B has not written a lick of a song.
Well, first of all, we can't even sit in our basement saying that shit. We can't even prove
if you
that.
Want to talk about album sales, Cardi B is climbing up to that level of fame when it comes to album sales.
She is. If
you want to talk about album sales, but Cardi B is not talent.
When I saw Cardi B, I didn't think that she would continue to be with this, but she is. So I can't even say shit no more. I can't say shit no more.
You gotta give her. You got to give them both respect and power that they can.
Respect.
Yeah,
you have to give her respect.
You got to.
I feel because I respect.
I thought she would have been done by now, but she won me over. She won me over. Son.
She's
son, Cardi B got flow. Did you hear that song with DJ Khaled? Come on,
yeah,
son, I did. DJ Khaled shit. Big paper.
I can't
make me more famous.
Let me tell you one thing about Cardi B.
She's catchy, bro. She's catchy. But listen, wait. We can't. Again, you talking about Cardi B, but you just skip over Nicki Minaj.
Let me tell you,
give Nicki her respect, son.
Let me tell you how I see the both of them marketing strategies.
Yeah, but marketing strategies that are literally on fire right now. Their marketing strategies, they're like
super
saying.
All right, what is a marketing strategy supposed to be? Something that gets you going on fire. Exactly.
But if Nicki Minaj comes through, she ripping stuff, son. Now, okay, did you hear her last? Did you hear the last thing?
I did. I got her. I downloaded it, but it definitely sounds like some. I think it sounds like some tracks I've heard before. I feel like I've heard some of them tracks.
And I mean,
but like she put them back out. But I appreciate the way she put them back out. No bullshit.
But you know why?
I am a Nicki Minaj fan. I ain't gonna. I got no shame.
I feel jaded because she came out the same time J. Cole came out. So I'm listening to J. Cole shit, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like when you hear J. Cole, everything else sound like
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like,
you know what I mean?
I try to listen to Kodak Black album the same way, and I put all my love and respect just to fucking.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Kodak Black, bro. I like Kodak Black.
Yeah, I like the album. You know what I'm saying? But it was a tough. It was a tough battle to go from Kodak to J. Cole to Nicki Minaj and really think I could pick between the three. Like,
yeah, it was tough.
Yeah. My playlist figured me out. Spotify.
Yeah, so that's my Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna put Nicki Minaj on there.
My Mount Rushmore. At the end of the day, consistently talking about you got Drake up there, Kendrick, J. Cole. I'm putting Jay-Z. I'm not taking some of these young boys can't even make it up there. If I were to take Jay-Z out and put a young boy up there, it'll probably have to be like Lil Baby because he's been. If you want to talk about consistency, making big records, like he's been doing that.
Right. What about 21 Savage?
To an extent, he slowed down.
What about Future?
He raps about the same thing, codeine and pills. I can't give that to him. I can't get that to him at all.
I got that. I'm with you on that one.
So
what about Lil Wayne? What about Lil Wayne? You think
Lil Wayne fell into drugs and all types of stuff.
I didn't put Lil Wayne there because I think that
he lost his
older than that.
Not only that, to me, I just don't like the fact that he fell into drugs and just lost his balance completely.
Okay, but you're talking about something personal. But what about like his rap skills?
What do you mean, rap skills? Rap skills. When I was in high school, Lil Wayne had the hardest bars out.
I was gonna say Lil Wayne is doing what Drake was doing right now.
He's doing exactly.
You know what I mean? Like Lil Wayne was exactly doing it.
Deserve to be up there.
No.
All right. What
It's
about
like
so now
Pacuña,
the internet?
Pacuña.
The internet was saying Kanye should have been on that fourth one.
Kanye,
Ooh.
they're saying Kanye because Kanye is like a few steps under what Jay-Z is doing right now. Musically, so consistent. Close to
That's
Billy.
just.
But
I feel like that's just because Kanye is taking his time and he's focusing
exactly.
on his kids,
I
his
think
life.
I think Kanye's on that Mount Rushmore too. He hasn't really came out with no music recently and staying relevant. But at the end of the day, I say you're right in saying Kanye is part of this conversation because of what he's doing. But I think his avenue that grew him and made him extra famous was like that fashion industry avenue, like really blew him up too.
I mean,
that helped his career a lot too. Like it's not like he wasn't a good rapper. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
but his
we're not
fashion,
into. But yeah, but what about just like straight rap? We just talking about rap though, not
straight
like
rap.
impact
Kanye
on
got it. Straight rap. Kanye got it. Kanye didn't come out with no bad albums. All his albums were consistently pretty great.
Even that last one, I don't even know what that joint was called again.
The last one was more like
that he made up in the mountains.
Yeah, the last one was more like a.
I think it was like a gospel album,
like a gospel rap album.
That gospel album was hot though. I can't even front.
It had beats.
I think he was just trying to find himself. He was in a different place. You know,
he was in Haiti.
You know, kind of something like that. You know, he just wasn't in his right mental.
All right, guys. So look, let's play this game. This game is called Pikliz or no Pikliz.
All right.
So you gotta name a food and say if you're gonna put Pikliz on it or not.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Grill.
I go. That's a given.
That's an easy yes.
It's not an easy yes because not all people like grill on their food. I mean, Pikliz on their grill.
You bugging.
I don't even eat grill and I'm gonna say yes. I don't eat pork, but yes, if I did eat pork, yes, I would put Pikliz on it.
How about go.
Tassel.
All day.
Pikliz, yes.
All day.
Got
to. Pikliz. You gotta put a small bowl on the side and soak the tassel in the sauce.
Do you know what tassel? Okay, let me. Do you know what tassel is? Okay, yeah, just check.
That's that goat meat.
Come on, I had tassel the other day.
Man, I got tassel company right now.
Oh, yo, listen, don't tell nobody I told you this, but if I was to go back to eating an animal again like that, the first thing I would go back to is eating that goat.
Because it's actually really a healthy option, to be honest.
It is very healthy because goat don't eat meat. Goat only eat grass.
Exactly.
And goat got two stomachs.
Exactly.
What?
So they digest things better.
I just started eating more and more goat and learning different animals that's more proper.
Yo, if you want to get healthier, son, cut out that glio and turn to that tassel.
Yo, you saying that? I'm trying to. I know y'all gonna talk some shit and there's gonna be some for everybody complaining, but I would love to make some venison into grill. I mean, I'm a big fan of hunting. I know.
Venison is deer meat.
Deer meat.
Deer meat is tough because it's very chewy.
Venison?
Yeah.
My guy said venison.
It's wicked chewy.
That's not Haitian.
I know that's not Haitian.
Moon blanc.
I know that's like us trying to eat rabbit.
Moon blanc for sure.
Yeah.
I know my mom was not eating it.
Yo, I had mommy eat some venison, pieces, and mommy was like, "What?"
Steve sound like he tasted that before, son.
I've seen it before. It's an experimental dish, but I know.
How does it look?
It looks like ZZ.
It's ZZ.
Oh, yeah, you know how ZZ tastes like.
Yo, you bugging?
Yeah, it's just like ZZ.
I love ZZ.
Okay, Pikliz or no Pikliz for ZZ?
Pikliz all day.
Oh, no way. You cannot eat ZZ with Pikliz. No way.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you
can.
bugging.
ZZ? No way, bro.
Yes.
Eat some Pikliz on that ZZ.
No,
ZZ
is hard as hell.
ZZ is gizzards. Yeah, I remember.
ZZ's wicked chewy.
First of all, that shit is disgusting. Okay, that
brush
shit is
cook it.
I hope I never eat ZZ again.
That's like telling a black person don't eat.
I can't believe I used to eat that shit.
I've actually never had chitlins before. I don't think I've had chitlins before. I
I never had it
questioned to
either.
be like,
It's just not healthy. It's not a healthy
to be like,
option.
oh,
Okay.
should I have this? But no, I know what it is.
Okay, so if you had chitlins, would you put Pikliz on it?
Most likely.
Yeah, because it's just
Yeah.
bad
I
animal
think I'm gonna need
parts.
some Pikliz on that.
You could definitely need that.
I'm gonna need some Pikliz on that.
Don't even tell me it's chitlins. Just get some rice
Listen.
and Pikliz on it.
Mimi, it's your turn.
Pick. Oh, you don't. Are you ready? You sure? Spam sandwiches, fried spam sandwiches.
Yes,
All day.
Pikliz
all day long. See, easy. That's a given.
That's the easy one.
Dícole. It's not preferred for all.
Wait. Now you talking about like with brown beans? Or you talking
brown
about
beans,
like,
black beans? Like dícole is a sticky rice.
Yo, okay, nah. That's just plain to me, honestly.
You said
no? Or the sauce, just the sauce.
What?
He said no?
Yeah, just the sauce. You know why?
Exactly.
I want the rest of the Pikliz all over the fucking chicken, all the grill and everything like that.
No, that's I want on everything. That's a yes.
See, yeah.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
dícole is a for sure thing.
You know what it is too? Brown rice.
Any type of rice.
It's barbecue sauce. I like barbecue. I like barbecue sauce on there.
No
way. Much as dícole said, it's barbecue sauce. Not Pikliz and shit.
What you can do?
Yeah,
you can make the Pikliz sauce in the barbecue sauce and put it on the rice.
Well, that's kind of what I do. I use the Pikliz sauce and the thickness of the barbecue sauce. That's on the rice, and then on the meat, that's all the cabbage, the carrots, and that get the yeah. You know how I am.
Okay, how about this? French fries.
Yes, you got it. Not the sauce. You gotta put the just the pieces on because.
I don't think I ever had Pikliz. I don't think so. I don't think I put Pikliz with French fries before. I think I used hot sauce with French fries.
Of course, that's a given, but that's New York shit.
There's a certain balance. I never tried it.
Okay, so you said yes. You've done it before. You've put Pikliz on French fries.
Yes.
The sauce or the kawat?
The kawat all day. The kawat, the cabbage, and then
you eat it with your hand. Walk.
I eat it with my hands.
Now I know you didn't do that shit because you ain't fucking Pikliz with your.
You picking it all up,
You eat no damn Pikliz with your hands, son.
Everything goes
with your
right
hands.
on top of
it.
No, who's touching your eyes?
Yo,
why are you touching your face when you're eating?
Yeah.
That's how you get pimples.
Pikliz before? Y'all never burned your arms in Pikliz before?
No, you bugging.
Son, you're lying, son. You never burn your eyes in Pikliz?
Nope.
No.
Son, all right. I burned my eyes in Pikliz before.
See?
I don't know. That's some strong Pikliz you got.
You know what it is? You wasn't paying attention. You wasn't paying attention when your mom was making it.
The only time
I
ever burned my eyes was when I ate that orange pepper that they put in the rice. It's an orange hot pepper.
Yeah, Scotch bonnet.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Scotch bonnet pepper. That's the best pepper. Yeah.
Yo, that will tear you.
Boom. Yeah, I had one. I had that one too. There's only one way. If you ever get pepper in your eyes, you have to go to somebody's hair and you rub the hair in your eyes.
Yeah,
and it's gonna
take
away. It's gonna take away the pepper.
Yeah, no thank you.
Eyes,
yeah, my
son, for real.
Sijè sal.
Hey man, you wanna have Sijè sal in you, or you gonna have your bullshit bully?
Yeah, I burn.
Right. You're gonna remember one day when your eyes is burning, you're gonna remember Adley said take some hair and put it in your eyes. Oh, so I never forget that. So it worked. I'm talking from experience, son. Watch, go ahead, go try it.
Listen, I'm gonna take you to the ocean and let a jellyfish sting you. See if I piss on you.
Son, you watching that Friends reunion? He's watching Friends.
Yo, well, I mean, if you down to try weird shit that people said, fuck all that bullshit, yo. Fuck, ain't nobody pissing on me. Let me struggle.
I'm so confident about this. I can tell you that you can go put pepper in your eyes right now and go do it. I promise you, nothing's gonna happen.
I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah,
go ahead, go do it.
We'll do that when we go. We'll do that when we come visit.
Okay, if the burning in your eyes doesn't go away, after 10 seconds, I'm gonna give you $100.
Listen, Cafe Apen does not co-sign that bet. so, so if you guys burn yourself in the eye,
don't try this at home.
That's on your own fault, okay? That was the disclaimer. You're welcome.
All right, guys. I'm out of here.
All right.
No doubt.
Guys.
Yep.
Epi, that's it.
Peace.
That's it.
Where do I start? Come on. Where do I start? Where do I start? Where do I start? Where do I start? Come on. Where do I start? Where do I start?